Alpha OneTV ebusia for sese wan subscribe no abomodian subscribe amayen. Yes, a brain feeling chimney and candy one chamo. Cyber, there is a breaking news I drop it from the presidency. That is John Dramani Mahama office. And as I breaking news in the Afriba. And pay and all the other two at the far end promises I would do promise Ghana say. Ministers for the Ombe Jumano coin biaso no or better so about 60. Now sana 60 no beti mati about from no. I was say some ministries be or a for the criteria or heading or merge keka boom sani epeseche because ministry be or sebi a for the creating be or fasu bia and shadan den any so and so create ye ni ma duane techi so ene GM ultimately deliver one of his campaign promises and he say ministries be 30 and no ministries be 30 and no wetima drop ya manaba from ye pava wetima terminate almost 1/3 of Akufo-Addo ministries now o creating bino wetima terminate almost 1/3 actually say Ghana funi na including MPP fompono omo budget so many aje ade Akufo-Addo ayeno ibinya akwenya kuti ministries ahodo a GM asa create account a new ministry achese be boye pa Ghana konenim inti insama na afenyoma kinjina okase Mahama 60 ministers ontimi nye what one so betima the 60 ministers about ontimi nye no general parliament adrian kind of panel ne Mahama abe proven wrong yenkonenkuti ministries ahodo a ose obedin obe take care of and nini power the audio message yenkonkuti.
And the executive instrument is going to be on your screen. EI1 is Civil Service Ministries Instrument 2025, in exercise of the power conferred on the President under Section 11.3 of the Civil Service Act 1993, PNDC Law 7. This instrument is made this 9th day of January 2025. Ministries of the Civil Service. The following ministries in the Civil Service are hereby established. So, these are the ministries that His Excellency John Mahama is going to work with. 1, the Ministry of Finance. 2, Ministry of Health. 3, Ministry of Interior. 4, Ministry of Defense. 5, Ministry of Education. 6, Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. So that's an addition, a Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. So take note of that difference right now. Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. 7, Ministry of Highways. 8, Ministry of Transport. We also have Ministry of Sports and Recreation. So that's another one you take note of. It's changed from Youth and Sports to Ministry of Sports and Recreation. Then we have the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice. And so that advocacy for it to be decoupled is not happening now. So the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice has been maintained. Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources maintained. Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. So the Chieftaincy Ministry has now been also added to the. So there's Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. There's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There's no more regional integration added as we see it. Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There's Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations. Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation. So that's the difference we see there from the previous administration, Ministry of Digitalization. So this is Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation. Also, there's Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology that has been maintained as it was. Then there's Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. That's a new one. Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. And there is the Ministry of Works, Housing and Water Resources. So now the Ministry of Works and Housing now added to the water resources. So Sanitation Ministry essentially has been collapsed. And Ministry of Works, Housing and Water Resources. Then the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has been maintained as it was. And also the Ministry of Tourism, culture, and creative arts. Tourism, culture, and creative arts maintained. The Ministry of Labor, Jobs, and Employment. It's in the next one. And also Ministry of Food and Agriculture maintained. And, well, there's a Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture that has been maintained. Yeah, so the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture, based on this list, has been maintained. That's how I come to former ministry. You were saying that they should collapse it. Well, there is the Ministry of Trade. There's a Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 ministries. 23 ministries as announced to right now. This is breaking news coming through from the ministry. In fact, the presidency, I beg your pardon, following ministries in the civil service hereby established. 23 as announced. This is breaking news coming through right now here on Key Point. The presidency, the bar, quickly.
Yeah, so I'll just start to say that post-elections, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been consistent. He says, look, I promised the people that I will give the system ministers and I'm going to stick to the system minister. So the 120-day, what do you call it, a social contract with Ghanaians, none of it has been altered. And His Excellency intends to keep them, God willing. And with the graces, the small graces we have, we will, those things will be done.
Well, thank you. But that is much beyond what others had proposed as well. Some of the ministries that, that been that proposal for it to be.
But see, I just realize people are reacting to the fisheries issues.
Yes, the fisheries and aquaculture.
Look, let me tell you. See, the fisheries is a big enclave. Look, you are looking at the activity, and agric in particular. Yes, I can agree that you can bring in fisheries into that. But if you look at the fisheries industry, around the coast and other things, it's a very huge thing from Aflao all the way to Axim and what have you. And so, I think that I'm not speaking because I'm not part of this decision, but I think that it's an area that you may also need some level of focus. And so that may be the reason why they're keeping it. So.
As long as we have 60,
okay. Yeah, 60, yeah.
And as long as if you reduce from 30 to 23, it's something that is commendable. Even though I would have done more adjustment to put even transport,
which
transport,
and then roads and highways.
All that. There's a paper that has been researched and written, and I'm saying. I was a bit surprised at when Andy, Honorable Andy Apiakubi was saying if 60 was, if they couldn't do 60, they could go more. There's a paper that we've researched and written on, and that says that we can even run Ghana with 30 ministries, ministers.
Yes.
And so I think this is commendable. Yes. I mean, depending on how we look at things, we cannot make input and say you could have done X, Y, Z. But generally, if you have reduced ministries from 30 to 23, that is something that we should comment. And I like the bits about Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. The idea of talking about Ministry of Youth and Sports and then focusing on only sports. You go to a National Youth Authority and they don't have resources. There's nothing virtually nothing being done to empower the youth, has festered or has been with us for many years. And the idea is that, look, if the future belongs to the youth, then the youth must be prepared for the future. And one of the things you do to prepare the youth for the future is to ensure that they are developed and they are empowered so they can be able to be positioned to be able to take over the mantle of leadership from those who are exiting. The practice where now young people are parading on social media and not being empowered, but always resorting to insult, verbal attacks, and some people are making a living just by insulting people on social media. All these things point to a certain bleak future for Ghana. And so I am excited about a ministry that is focused on youth development. Ghana is a youthful population. Essentially, we are a youthful population, and so it is important that we deliberately put in place measures to cater for young people and their development, subsuming youth issues to sports ministry, knowing that the football alone will gobble all the resources that is allocated to that ministry has been with us. It's a practice that has been with us for far too long, and I'm excited that you have a government who has had this foresight of ensuring that at least if the future belongs to the youth, we put in place a whole ministry that will ensure that youth are developed and empowered and prepared for the future. I commend this whole thing, reduction of ministries from 30 to 23. It's not happened, and so it's not happened before, and we want to have more positive, unprecedented achievements. Under Mr. Akufo-Addo, everything was unprecedented, but in a negative way. Everything was unprecedented. Virtually everything was unprecedented, but in a negative way. Akufo-Addo is reputed to have had the biggest size government in the history of actually Ghanaian politics from independence. Biggest size government. Everything unprecedented. He couldn't do any meaningful reshuffle. He couldn't downsize. He couldn't do anything. And so if you have a president who is reducing the number of ministries from 30 to 23 and saying he's going to run Ghana with 60 ministers, and somebody is saying, well, if 60 is too small, we should, and some people were also mocking at him, how is he going to run Ghana with just 60 ministers? They are ignorant. They should Google this paper. Ministerial appointment and government expenditure in Ghana's Fourth Republic. Google it. Written by myself and Alas and Anamzoya Suleimana of the from the Sociology Department of the University of Ghana. Look at that paper, and it makes the point. If we do the necessary scrappings, realignments, and all that, we can even run Ghana with 30 ministers. Most of the jobs that are created, ministries that are created, are needless jobs for the boys. But you people, you used to tout yourself that before getting into power, you had your monies, you had your resources, you had your houses, you had your V8s and all that. So what do you need the job for the boys for? But we are talking about governing a country in a manner that brings about development. The practice of having a big size government is always amount to you fetching water with basket, because every resources that comes is spent on V8s. You are V8 for ministers. You have to give them gardeners. You have to give them day watchmen, night watchmen, chauffeurs, and cooks, and you pay all manner of things, as a way of expenditure on them.
We hope that reduces this time round.
Well, it is going. I mean, if at least, if for nothing at all, reduction of ministries from 30 to 23, something that should have a certain impact. Impact that we all see.
For said we breaking news a free a Jubilee House or batch say you can say this breaking news a good breaking news such as enya simple and a nipa ho do nim day nim niema ye kwachire ye arches omo president ako Mahama abasu ye pa chire say ade a o kan so be no enye se na lip service keke enye se na bia o ka niema be magana for asuma yomo dekeke nemum. He is walking the talk or prove the entire NPP4 wrong. Say we leader we different from a NPP4. We leader or ye nation builder. On your reckless leader. On your mismanagement a leader. On you be a nibutum no dream when the food no dream. On to say nkophobia in moment. I just say Ghana homo bro Ghana mpuntu ebini momutrim no nyesa na otie even omuntimi nyempono obisi obetima ya omo doubt ne se ontimi nye omuni adwen etim die niema ye nti oba na okase obetima ye ne sia no more doubt no ko onka say odi ye okay ye be share her so bitima onka sa obesa make sure say enkrofo a ma dwen wo fom no so no omba bi di o machi se na be ya omomma adwen papa be she otirim no omomma ne nyede MP even though they don't know the process the way bitim dia omoso so omombro mo ase enko bisa nyansa ni nimdi free these people omoso so ombe make sure say with dreams ni inspiration and yema bitima magana akwa enim no ombe make sure say intimi mbem se na be ya emma omo party no emba from. So these people no the money money ye winning power the money money ye my party nya akono nye Ghana nya akono because as you speaking on sen combat na se hu se Ghana ya akono a ene bie den come party se musi Ghana ya ene mama political party den kosro muntimi mama party nya akono abrekra Ghana enya akono because Ghana is bigger than your party. Sa dream we idea ke was say mo amaku school nimde no e was nka me de munya sa dream we na so no esan greediness intino omondwen sa so anytime be out your mokase mo a niema be mo party aya akono no modwen ho sisi Ghana ho nya akono biem omo say Ghana atete Ghana aye Ghana pasa so no na ma GM can say the previous government and asset trap a lot of trap the amano now so inshallah obitima den I overcome that a year trap in Ghana fan to my pie everywhere and ne GM shit ne niema o can so bedding obey na say any say or can say ministries be bro akofo atia emfaso bie ni so emfaso ba ku si eni so ya dia ke bitima merge those ministries Chelsea bitima ke can those ministries na yede abom amana ye baako ministries bi wo ha behwe no baako ni achimu be 3 4 5 ke bitima kan nyina yede abom baako ni yedi nipa baako yede ato ano no ye adwuma wo now so the previous government AGJJ mu enya hu minister enya hu deputy adini achimu 5 no ye nya hu minister asa enya hu deputy second deputy first deputy timikwa agodu fourth deputy chese odwen ho awonti ase and these people no ye bema wo eye eniema bitise ka fie chese beboa ama wadwuma ye ayefo ama ansani esa the police edi wani medi wechi chese eniema e magana nkoso no ene nkwa na these people ye den omaba ye hwe eye eniema GM ashase in the 5 days in the 1 week hwe eniema wa ashase so ye enko baby so hwe eniema wo ye and the way ye be senya nkrofo a omo MPP mu apia bonti abeka se edi anwo kire beba Ghana ma Ghana koso onu onim yo ontimi sonye onu so a wo ye a no sabotage yo. These are the people eni omoti nka nkrofo we enkan ho with their mindset Ghana for din say ibimbe hu adwembone ebi wo bi mutrima kaya dia ka Ghana bede be konenim sen komo nkan ho na se komo kan ho na Ghana fododo na ye wise enhu omo a kaya dia ka Ghana bede ke be konenim pa yi na so no NDC be boa ama atoto niema yi especially John Dramani Mahama atoto niema yi amya ko enim no this man and these people where them besa soretiano akwakodi nkrofo bechi atoto boaba park na so and as we speaking on we are hoping say GM all these things in the imbunabem afenyo marking as a leader said the air prof jampo kase nkrofo mo kase 60 ministers in NAE, and our French marking is number 1. He thinks, says 60 ministers na GM Edebano NAE. Because the last time, no, all your opening a year, the speech, no, Moody closely ahead the 8th Parliament, no. Or chair say, 60 ministers in NAE are all breaking your man down. You have 16 regions. Also, when you be our ministers, we have this. Na casting, be here for na casting. In air Prof. Jampo say, those people are more some mindset in an ignorant. Adreno or form, adreno or form. On also on tenacity, MOB mechanic. And China say, these ministers now work on a be any says a be. Ebe intino ebe ya yankeka eniamam bom na mboaye na menyina de enko anim na so as you speak no eye afenyo marking try say obitima convince a lot of Ghanaians na ebe ya ombe sabotage eye Mahama ama eye ni ministries na opesa de ban no de home ministers to ano no ebe din aye de amano etinse me rebitima cha under the comment section subscribe na share ma onya so de insan ke bisa for Akroma.